The 2025 Martha's Vineyard African American Film Festival has officially announced its opening lineup. We'll be taking a look at these lineups and how important this is to the African American film community. And also, Mira Nair has espoused her philosophy in choosing her films that she wants to direct. We'll be taking a look at the story that led her to that point, and also, BRS Studios has officially released online its teaser for the slate of films that they are yet to release. These and more right here on the Film Mandate and Papa Otu. Stay tuned. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Film Mandate, where I bring to you movie news, reviews, and reactions both from the African front and the international scene. I thank you so much for joining me for this very episode. So, my first story has to do with the Martha Vineyard African American Film Festival, which is taking place in August between the 2nd and 8th. And this festival happens to be a very important one, as it happens to be an Academy accredited film festival where films selected for these festival, especially the ones that get to the finale and win awards, have the potential of being entered into the Oscars race. So let's take a look at this festival, which has been in existence since the year 2002. And I thought it was, pardon me, yeah, I keep making a mistake of having my sound on. Yeah, so it's just a sound bite of another, um, yeah, pardon me, let me just sort it out quickly. So it's just a sound bite of another, yeah, of a teaser that I'll be showing you later. But yeah, I think it's sorted out now. Yeah, so we'll be taking a look at this article, which was published in the Hollywood Reporter, and I thought I need to read about it because it has some, roster of stars that are showing up, and then your picture is Spike Lee, who is representing with a film that he has done, his fifth collaboration with Denzel Washington, highest to lowest. So we'll be talking more about it. So in 2025, Martha's Vineyard African American Film Festival opening lineup announced Spike Lee, Mara Brock Akil, and more to appear by Brandy Victorian, which was published just yesterday. So let me read. The Martha's Vineyard African American Film Festival, MVAAF, has announced the opening lineup for its 23rd annual celebration, providing a platform for Black and Brown filmmakers, taking place August 1st to 9th. So rather, I missed it by 2 dates. So it's from August 1st to 9th, 2025. Kicking off the festivities on August 1st will be a screening of the sports documentary Unraveling George, directed by Mike Tollin and narrated by Marlon Wayans, who portrayed George Ravelin in 2023's Air. The film chronicles the notable journey of the Hall of Fame basketball coach, known for guiding the careers of several All Stars players, including Michael Jordan, a color of conversation. Sorry, including Michael Jordan. A color of conversation will immediately follow the screening. That evening, The Dutchman, starring Andre Holland, Kate Mara, Adels Hodge, Stephen McKinley Henderson, and Zazie Beetz will be presented. The trailer about a successful black man who finds himself in a psychological game of cat and mouse with a mysterious white woman is based on the 1964 Obie Award-winning play by Amiri Baraka and was written by Kasim Basser and Andre Gaines, who also serves as producer and director. Gaines and Hodge will be in conversation after the show. Closing out opening night will be a presentation of clips from Academy Award winner Spike Lee's Highest to Lowest, marking his fifth collaboration with Denzel. The film about a music mogul who's forced to fight for his family and legacy when he becomes a victim of a ransom plot also stars Jeffrey Wright, Ilfenesh Hadera, and ASAP Rocky. Lee and Hadera will discuss the themes of the movie following the presentation. On August 3rd, Mara Brock Akil's Netflix rom-com TV show Forever will be presented with a color of conversation to follow the screening of episode 5, The Vineyard, which is set in the Dukes County, Massachusetts island where the festival takes place. This year, MVAAF radiates with joy, sports, lighting, extraordinary color of conversation, events, interactive fun, engagements, and a standout roster of must-see documentaries and shorts. Floyd and Stephanie Rance, the founders of MVAAFF, and co-founders of Run and Shoot Filmworks, said in a news release, "We are continually amazed by the positive economic impact the festival brings to the island as we look forward to celebrating another year of Black excellence in film. Additional screenings, panels, and events will be announced in the coming weeks." So there you have it. That is the Martha's Vineyard African American Festival. MVAAFF has announced their opening lineup. And indeed, it is exciting to have such events being held that celebrates the Black excellence in film and television, and one of such is this, bringing to you, to light what the African American film community are doing in terms of film. To have even the likes of Spike Lee gracing the occasion, Mara Brock Akil gracing the occasion with her TV series Forever. It's amazing, and it speaks to how important this film festival is, particularly being an academy accredited film festival where films that has the potential that wins these awards has the potential to be entered into the main, the Oscars, the Academy Awards. So it is indeed exciting to have such festival happening for the African American community. And one of such films that has the greatest potential to be entered into the race is none other than Highest and Lowest. That is the fifth collaboration of Spike Lee and Denzel Washington. And it's not been released yet, but it is the anticipation for this film is quite high, and this film happens to be a different vibe altogether. Denzel's films, his characters ranges from it has ranged from being a boxer to the Shakespearean kind of stories in the one he did with one of the Cohen brothers. I've forgotten about the title, but I think, yeah, I've forgotten about the title. And you have from Training Day, where he was a corrupt detective, and to, being a sports coach. He's done quite a range of characters, and in this one, he's a music mogul who happens to find himself in trouble. So it is with great, I'm sure expectation that this indeed will make it into the Oscars race when it is finally released. Denzel, always bring his A game when it comes to performing, delivering his lines and performance on screen. He has some great acting chops, and as well for him to collaborate with Spike Lee, whose films are are carefully crafted and beautifully directed, always ends up making an impact. From his films with him, from the X-Men, Malcolm X to the Inside Man, all the films he's done with Denzel has been one of massive impact. And that is something you cannot take away from this duo whenever they come together to actually collaborate on a project. So the MVF AAF is indeed a crucial film festival that has brought some much needed light to certain films in the African American film community. And it is worth noting that it's been in existence for 23 years. 23 years. So over 2 decades, they've been impacting, the film community. And I want to see even if I can bring, um, I can bring to bear some of the films that have received such nominations over the years. So, okay, so so I'm trying to see if I can bring up a number of them, but I'm not, yeah. So, I mean, so it is indeed a crucial film festival which provides such, platforms for American filmmakers to showcase their work and, offers such pathways into the American, film festival. So, it's been good. Yeah, it's been good. It's really been good for yeah. So films like yeah, so I mean, I wish I can bring to you a number of these films that Martha Vanya's from African American Film Festival has been able to present. But indeed, it is a very crucial film festival that really highlights the how influential this film is. To have these names of and roster of people, films, and people thrown to this festival, indeed is a big deal. Unfortunately, time will not permit me. There's quite a number of stories to go through as well. But then, indeed, I'm happy that it's still strong and it keeps going, because these film festivals are really needed, particularly for the African American film community. And we hope that they will keep going strong and mighty even in the years to come, 25, 28 years more to come, and counting. So yeah, this indeed is my first story. Let me know what you think about this story and share your views in the comments section below. So moving on from this to another exciting story. For those who may not know her, Mira Nair is one of America's influential filmmakers, and she has been doing films from the Masala, Mississippi. Just as we spoke about Denzel not too long ago, she did a project with Denzel Washington, and that is a Mississippi Masala, and that is 1991. That is years ago. And she did one exciting film for Disney, that is The Queen of Katwe, which was shot in Africa, starring Lupita Nyong'o and Chiwetel Ejiofor. Is it no why am I missing out on the names? Yeah, but that is how vast her filmography is. She's done quite a roster of films, um, both Indian films to American films to African films. So her her vast roster of films covers quite the world. From Monsoon Wedding to a whole lot of others. So I thought I would read something interesting that she shared, particularly on the what's it called, on the declaration of her son entering into the New York race, the New York mayor race, and her son is Zoran Mamdani, who gave an important advice to her when she was caught up in deep thought as to whether to direct a Harry Potter movie that was offered to her. And so this is what her son advised her to do, that Zoran Mamdani told director Mira Nair to pass on Harry Potter movie. And I know some may wonder that why would her son do that, but it's for a very good reason. Let's just scroll down to the portion of the interview. So this was published in the Independent online paper, and that is what I want you to know. So yeah, so this is what he had to say. So I was deep into making the namesake at the time, she said, referring to her 2006 film, which was based on the Jhumpa Lahiri novel of the same name. Nair was also working on the namesake after the unexpected death of her mother-in-law, who was like a mother to her. I was deep in the melancholy, she continued. That's what inspired me to make the namesake because Jumper had written in it of this terrible melancholy of losing a parent in a foreign country, which is exactly what I was experiencing. So this is what her son ended up saying. So she explained that she was just a month away from filming the namesake when Warner Brothers reached out to her. Ness said she felt compelled to attend the meetings with the studio because her son had learned to read through J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter books. However, she didn't want to give up on working on her own film, so she asked her then 14-year-old son, what to do. And this is how powerful, you would assume that perhaps her son would say, go for it because I like the Harry Potter books. But this is what the son had to say. He said to me, Mama, many good directors can make Harry Potter, but only you can make the namesake, Nair recalled. And it was such a liberating and clarifying statement. And it kind of is about how I lived my life. Like, what can I do that is so specific that you cannot do? How to make my distinctiveness my calling card. And I feel like this is indeed a very powerful statement, a very powerful statement that her son offered her, and that has guided her through her entire career as a film director, And indeed, the reason why I wanted to read this article is it's for all filmmakers. I like the fact that yes, there are several properties that several directors can, helm and make something great out of it. And yes, truth be told, every director, even if given the same project, would approach it in a way that would be distinctly different from, all others, even regardless it being the same script. However, there are certain stories that are very personal and they are very, it has the DNA of certain directors that if you give it to another person, they would mess it up. And for her to have chosen to go with what is personal to her and not a very popular franchise like the Harry Potter was something that had shaped her career. Granted, maybe if she had done the Harry Potter movie, she would have blown up and be known, much wider than what what is known of her now, of or how popular she is now, but that in its sense may not even grant her the satisfaction that she desired because from the article she was going through a personal, struggle, pain, and this film happened to be a film that could even grant her a healing process. And for her to have chosen that over a film that could have granted her millions of dollars and possibly even an Oscar nom, it is indeed a very bold choice to make and a philosophy that has sort of shaped her career because regardless, you cannot take away from her how impactful her films are, how impactful her films are. And Denzel to have even joined her, in 1991 for her film Mississippi Masala indeed speaks to how influential and powerful her voice is in Hollywood and the world beyond. Because not only is she in Hollywood, but her films cut across to Bollywood and Africa and other places as well. So, as a director, her voice speaks so much to. I believe that this philosophy is a philosophy that ought to be um, ingrained in every film director who wants to make a mark. You may go for the big blockbuster films, but in as much as it is exciting to go for this, and nobody should reject those things. Yes, when you get an opportunity, go for it. But if you have to choose between the big blockbuster one and the one that makes so much, that is your calling card. That is your your bones. There's something that you've created yourself. Perhaps you should go for it because then you would have a very distinct voice. Because in the big blockbuster system, the higher the budget, the less of a total creative control you would have. That is not bad in itself because in that process you may learn a thing or two and be able to understand how the studio system works and how you can perhaps fit in if that is your cup of tea. But if it happens that you are an independent filmmaker, just as Mira Nair is, and you would want to have a voice, a very distinct voice of your own, like an auteur driven director, then perhaps going with projects that are personal to you, going with projects that resonate so much with you is much important, regardless of whether it's a Hollywood big studio film or an independent film. Once it resonates so deeply with you, that makes sense. And for her son, Zoran, to have told her that go for the project that many people can direct. What's it called? The Harry Potter films, but only you can make the namesake, and that indeed is such a powerful um, statement from the son, which has shaped the life. And that is Mira Nair and her son, who is going for the New York mayoral seat on the Democratic ticket. On the Democratic ticket. So it's indeed exciting to have them, be together, where celebrating his success as well, looking at what I mean, this advice that she's given the mother and has gone a long way to impact, the life so much. So yeah, it is indeed exciting. And just a brief synopsis on the namesake movie, and it says that an American-born Gogol is spelled Gogol, the son of Indian immigrants, wants to fit in among his fellow New Yorkers, despite his family's unwillingness to let go of their traditional ways. And you, from this brief synopsis, you know that it is going to be personal to her because she herself hails from India, and is in but lives in the United States of America. So it is indeed personal, and I like the philosophy of which I'm so inspired by. And I hope that if you're a filmmaker or in any area of your life that you are watching this from, if you need a particular advice or philosophy to guide you, I think you should go with such powerful advice that the son gave to her. And let me just reiterate it again. And I think it's such powerful, words. He said that he said to me, "Mama, many good directors can make Harry Potter, but only you can make the namesake." And this advice also goes to you. Many people can do so many other big projects that is in the limelight, but only you can make the project that you are so passionate about, not outside the scope of reasonable, calculation, but it should be a project that indeed would make an impact and make a difference in your life. So yeah, that is quite an inspirational moment this Friday. Yeah, so yeah, that is exciting. Let me know your thoughts on this particular philosophy of director Mira Nair, such a powerful American director. You can go and Google and check on all her filmography. She's worked with all the names. David Oyelewo, sorry, was the name I wanted to recall with regards to the Queen of Katwe, who she played. He starred opposite Lupita in the Disney film Queen of Katwe. So you can check it out as well. she's also worked with Denzel and a whole host of actors and actresses. So yeah, that is indeed exciting, and yeah, so you can check it out. So last but not the least, let's come to a very interesting story here, and that is none other than BRS Studio. So BRS Studios, just a couple of, I think about a month ago, announced the release of their slate of films. And for those who may not know BRS Studio, let me just show you an article. I'm not going to read it, but just for you to know what I'm talking about. So BRS Studio um, came up with a project where it involves three directors, and one of the directors is Ghana's own Shirley Frimpong Manso, an award winner and very prolific filmmaker, to direct one of three films that they have to offer in 2025. So Shirley Frimpong Manso is going to direct, or was going to direct, or has directed Stitches. And then you have Ernest Obi, a veteran actor and director as well, also directing one, as well as Ramsey Noah, also directing Dambe. So BRS Studio is actually a collaboration between three Nigerian filmmakers, and that's Ramsey Noah's. Let me see if I can get the particular. Yeah. So that's why do I okay. So yeah, BRS Studio. So it's a formidable alliance between Joy Odietes, who is a distributor as well. So it's a very strategic partnership. Blue Pictures, which stands for the B, I guess, and also Ramsey Noah's Ramsey Films, which stands for the R in BRS, and then Chris Odes Films, which is Chris Odes Sozo Films, which stands for the S. So that forms the BRS Studios. So just about a couple of days ago, even just I think a day or two ago, they released um, a teaser that I thought gives us an idea as to what it stands for. So I wanted to share it briefly, and let's see what they have for us. So let me just get this ready. Yeah, so let me start it. So it's just a montage of a teaser montage of what perhaps the films is going to be about. So I was excited to have seen it, and I thought, no, let me share it with all of us. So let me just play this briefly and let's enjoy it. A minute, please. For some reason, it's not responding. Okay, so let me just refresh this briefly, and then we can go. Okay. So that's Stitches. Shirley Frimpong Manso film. Ernest Obi. Yeah, so that is yeah, so that's the montage for you. Yeah, so that's how interesting the montages, even though it's not revealed much about the story, but it gives you a sense of what it's going to be about from for with stitches from the 3D models and or animation you saw over there. It's definitely going to be within, the backdrop of it's going to be within the fashion industry, possibly, and also Inwa Akwabo, or the one directed by, or going to be directed by Ernest, is has the background, very cultural, traditional. But Dambe goes way back into it's a historical epic that has to do with some warrior. So this is just a teaser of what they are yet to release. I'm sure soon enough the teasers for the individual films itself will be released, and we will have a taste of what they have in store for us. But I'm excited about it because I like the fact that we are no more thinking individualistic anymore. We are thinking about collaborations, alliances, in order to put Africa on the world stage, with the stories that are authentically ours, with voices that are very influential in the industry. Ramsey Noah, Ernesto B, Shelefimpong, Manso. These are very prolific and influential, pardon me, filmmakers whose voice carry a lot of weight, and it is indeed exciting that they are working on this slate of films. So this is going to be released in 2025. I don't know how the dates yet, but whatever information I get on them, you're going to be the first to know. I'm going to try my best to get it and bring it out there. So congrats to them for seeing this happening. I'm excited. The montage itself lends itself to, it gives a little vibe or like the Game of Thrones kind of montage that opened it. But I don't know whether it's going to be same for the stories. But regardless, I'm excited and I know these stories are going to be good. So we'll be looking forward to them when it releases in the cinemas. So this wraps up my story for today's episode. But as usual, today being a weekend, I'm sure you have in mind the desire to go to the cinemas to check out what will be showing come this Friday to Sunday. So let's see what films will be showing today in the cinemas. So we're going to begin with the Silverbird Cinema. Let's see the films that are going to show today. So from the Accra Mall or the West Hills Mall, or I'm sure any other mall cinema in the world over, there are certain films that will be cutting across. But for the Silverbird Mall in Accra, showing today is Jurassic World Rebirth. Jurassic World Rebirth starting this morning 10 a.m. So you can go to the cinemas to watch it. It stars Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali. So you can go and check it out. And also Metro in Dino also is going to be showing today, a Hindi drama film also premiering today. Out in the Darkness, a drama Nollywood film um, will also be showing today. Boss Chicks will be showing tomorrow, so you can go and check it out tomorrow. Be showing tomorrow. Sorry, yeah, tomorrow. That's the date. Megan 2.0 aired last week, June 27th, still in the cinemas. So there's a follow-up to the Megan film released a couple of years ago. And F1, the movie, is still in the cinemas. And there are still a whole lot others in the cinemas that you can go and watch. So make it a point to go and watch if you have the time. But these are exciting films that I think all of us can go and take a look at. So let's also take a look at what is happening in the international scene. Um, so let's see what is happening in the international scene with the films that will be releasing today and the weeks and the days after. So starting with going to the Rotten Tomato website, let's see what they have for us. So we have this is Spinal Tap. It's a re-release, from years ago. So that is tomorrow. And also another re-release will be Hearts of Darkness, a filmmaker's apocalypse. That is, I think, the behind the scenes or the story behind the film Apocalypse. Apocalypse Now, that was released decades ago. You also have Pretty Thin, The Twin, Blair live at Wembley Stadium, Metro in Dino, uh, Kamuda, Diran, and Paranthu, Poe, and Malice all releasing today. A lot of Hindi films or Indian films releasing today in the cinemas worldwide. Worldwide, as well, we have 38 HK, which released yesterday, but we also have the world over Jurassic World Rebirth releasing in a worldwide release. It released on the second. 40 Acres is releasing today, and Kill the Jockey released on the second, and a whole host of other films as well. F1 as usual, Megan 2.0, Off the Grid, and a whole list of other films. Ice Road was also released on the 27th. So I'll leave a link to these films in the description below so that you can take your time and look at the films that you would be interested in watching in the cinemas today. So this sums up my story for the week, or my for this very episode. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and thanks so much for joining me throughout this week's episodes. I'm excited to have you as an audience. So I'll be coming your way again on Monday with other interesting stories that would transpire over the weekend. So thank you so much once again. And my name is Papa Otu, and this has been the Film Mandate. See you soon.